Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm gonna install my COBB FLEXFUEL for running E85. I've already started breaking into it a little bit. All I've done is pulled the battery out and undid these 3 screws here, 1, 2, and 3, to be able to move the fuse box out so I can put the trusty old FLEXFUEL sensor down in there. So for the sensor part, we are gonna be using this bolt right down here, and all you're gonna do is just feed this in, make sure your barbs are on top, electrical connection on bottom. Go ahead and stick it back in there, and then we'll go ahead and put these other 2 screws back in as well. Alright, so I was only able to get 1 or 2 of them back on because this guy, he doesn't line up at all, and there's pretty much no wiggle in this thing, so we're just gonna leave it as is. I mean, it's plenty secure with the battery in there. It's not gonna be going anywhere. So next I'm gonna disconnect the bottom return line. I have the COBB FPR stumble fix regulator already, so we're gonna take off this bottom barb here, and we're gonna run. First things first, before you should have started any of this, you should have pulled that 15 amp fuse out of that spot right there to kill the fuel pump, so you could pressurize the fuel lines. So since I've already done that, I'm gonna go ahead, got a bunch of rags here, I'm gonna stick these down here underneath, because more than likely there's gonna be a lot of fuel come out of here. I don't get it. A lot of people say that there's never any fuel that comes out of here, but yeah, I've learned the hard way, to be honest with you. So we're probably gonna end up finding out the hard way here too. And I doubt I can do this with 2 hands or 1 hand. So let's see if I can position this somewhere so you guys can watch. Okay. So I got these really nice clips that make it a lot easier. Just go really slow. Patience is your best friend here. I know with the stock fuel pressure fittings, they probably are a whole lot different. I know they're a pain in the ass to get off, but it actually looks like we didn't have a whole lot coming off this time. Well, that's cool. Last time we had a shitload. So got that one off. So the COBB fuel pressure sensor is gonna go right onto that location there, and then obviously electrical fitting down. Make sure you put some Loctite on both the plug and the threaded sensor itself. But this is a nice locking, so it's meant to go over the barb like that. So we'll take off the old plastic one on that one, and we'll save this old hose. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the line off of the fuel pressure regulator and get this put on, and I'll be back with you guys. So now that we've got the return line on the intake manifold, COBB says that you want to do this after the fuel pressure regulator. So we've got the fuel pressure regulator here. This barb is for the return. So we'll be using the longer of the 2, this guy, and this will go on the right side and run to the fuel pressure regulator. Now on the left side, this will run, it's going to be the shorter one, and this is going to run to the barb on the intake manifold there, or actually the fuel pressure sensor. So we can actually stick this guy on. That guy's on. I just needed 2 hands to do it. So this barb will be the short hose that goes to the left side of the E85 sensor, and on the right side is going to be the long hose that will run up to the barb on the fuel pressure regulator. So I'm going to go ahead and get it all hooked up, and I'll be right back. Now that we got this on there with the hose clamp COBB provides, remember this is the long side, so we're going to go ahead and get this mounted back in the spot it normally is, which I've taken off the bracket. I built this thing myself, so and then we'll go ahead and fish this wire, or this hose, down through there. I'm going to go ahead and get this mounted back up. The hose here, it's plenty far away, and I'm just going to have it tucked in, running against this fuse box like everything else is. The battery should help keep it there, and the battery don't really move too much, so you'll be alright. So we're gonna go ahead and push this on, and you're gonna push it on, and then once you have it on, you're gonna go ahead and slide that blue thing, the blue clip, up. Give it a nice tug. It's not going nowhere. So now with the short line here, we're gonna go ahead and blue side to the fuel pressure regulator, and then white side to the actual fuel pressure sensor there. So this is gonna be a pretty straightforward little install here. We'll pull off this cap. So we'll feed this down. Somewhere like that. And slide that guy on there as well. Got that guy all hooked up. So this guy is just gonna get fed underneath my intercooler piping. And we're gonna go ahead and slide this guy on. If it'll go on, yeah, just like that, and then there we go. All the fuel pressure lines are hooked up. That should be totally fine there. As long as you've got curves and not kinks, should be all good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get the harness and start running them to the TGVs, and then we'll button everything back up. The harness that comes with the fuel pressure sensor, obviously you're gonna push that in, clip it in, and then the double TGV connections, we're gonna route them across the engine over here to right there. That's gonna be your TGV sensor, So, yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna get this off. Might have to take my intake off. All right. So, we got the TGV off, which is that one right there. It was originally the one with all these colors right here, but you're gonna run the harness line from the fuel pressure sensor. I routed it underneath, and underneath the intake manifold there, you can see. All right, guys, welcome back. Sorry about that. My battery died, and of course I couldn't help myself but keep going while it was still fresh in my head. So everything's all buttoned up, but I will run through the process with you and get under the car and really go into detail as to the exact connections and whatnot. Okay, so right there is going to be your TGV connection. So obviously, you know, you're going to pop that one off just like you did the fuel pressure sensor, plug it in, re-plug the other one back into that. And then the long one, that's going to be your short line from the actual sensor that you mount. I'll show you here in a second. But so yeah, the short one goes on the TGV right there, and then the long one is going to be snaked down all the way through here. Or where did I run it exactly? Okay, yeah, this is it right here. Duh. So the long one is going to run all the way back, and you're going to keep going to right here, right where your O2 sensor is. So this little plastic barb thing here that's connected to it, obviously just pinch the sides, pop it off, unplug it, plug the new O2 sensor in, and then plug the, let's see, you're gonna plug the male end into the female end, and then the male end of the actual O2 into the female end of the harness itself. And it's already got a zip tie, so we should be all good. And to be honest with you, that pretty much wraps it up. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up, guys. You know, big shout out to my tuner, Josh Dank over at Dank Tuned in Bozeman, Montana. If any of you guys are in Montana and happen to see this video, I can guarantee you I'm probably one of very few that are even running an E85 on a Subaru. It's extremely hard to get, and I am curious to see how I'm going to keep the flow going. But I am doing it because obviously I want the knock, detonation, pre-detonation suppression from ethanol, and, you know, added power is a bonus. We're doing this all on a stock engine. My goal is 4 to 430 horsepower, wheel horsepower out of this thing. It's got all the supporting mods, injectors, fuel pump, fuel pressure regulator, front mount intercooler, intake, I mean, for the most part, and a 38 millimeter external wastegate. And I am putting on an FP Green, one of the new UHF turbine wheels. Load up the map, and we'll go ahead and fire it up and see what it's all about. Get back. Okay, let's go ahead and start it up, see what she's all about. Oh yeah, baby. Fired right up. Woo! This is exciting, guys. Super exciting. Sport like I normally do, but this is going to conclude. It looks like my ethanol is right at, I do know that I put 10% ethanol from the pump in, so it doesn't surprise me there. So it looks like everything's all good. We're gonna go ahead and let the car idle for a little bit and then go take it for a drive and come back, check for leaks, and I think that should be it. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want to see more videos, there's a lot more to come, so we'll see what it's all about. Stay tuned. Peace, guys.